Shalom, family. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. To my brothers out there, how does the sun set on you? Does it set on you in the time of spring? Does it set on you in the time of winter? Or does it set on you in the time of the blazing summer, my brother? Here, these are the times of the blazing summer. The blazing summer is a time we find ourselves in. Time's over. If I turn traitor, it killed me. That is our understanding, that is our oath, and that is what we live by. With that being said, gentlemen, I'm from Houston. I've been a few places. I've been in different states. I've been outside of the homeland. That's the white boy. I'm sorry. The Americans had wanted to, all of a sudden, America became, say, hereditary. Some would even say hereditary. Essence, nature, as you would. Anyway, I was watching a video of Mr. Metcalf. I can't think of his first name right now, and I don't want to confuse him with either of his sons. So Mr. Metcalf, the elder, I mean, hate and anger filled. Use each other, and they use the people around them to cause even further confusion within themselves. They are truly unstable, culturally unstable, period. This isn't meant to be an insult. It's meant to be the fact, unless someone else shows me otherwise. But generally speaking, I think things through. I'm not just quiet sitting here like a potted plant. No, I'm actually calculating things, studying things. To say, we even took you from over there and brought you over here, and we put you to work. Motherfucker, anyway, what put us to work, sir? You enslaved us. But when you're a drunk and angry and full of hate, they refuse to see even the obvious. You put us to work? And what kind of talk is that? I mean, look at his choice of words. We took you from over there and we brought you over here and we put you to work. Nigga, we was working where we was. Do you think the monarch out just spewed out? They are not the intellect. Just spewed out. I'm gonna imagine this spewing that they do over several tumblers of Jim Beam and some of that white stuff in that saucer over there. I don't know if it's crack, cocaine. I don't know what that is, but somebody has been imbibing. There's a finger in the middle of it. And that one over there just keeps looking up and to the left. What are you looking at up there? And then reproduce again. I'll be damned. This is why you kill everything in sight the first time. I hate to be so straight. Well, there's no other way. I'm just more frank about it. They know there's no. They act like they like fighting forever. And one thing I noticed about man and his wars, he never kills everybody. So sooner or later, they end up going to war again. I mean, first they show their murderous tendencies, and then they say, okay, let's negotiate. I think we've killed enough of each other. Shit, there's blood everywhere. Bring you and your children today. The maintenance or the attempted maintenance of the very same system that you swore would go away, but it didn't. First came the school bombings, Mr. Metcalf, and dead black girls. Yeah, who was trying to dynamite, bomb a school, and kill dead? I mean, it didn't take long for it to start, man. Do I have to give you this history lesson? Where would it lead to next in the South? Church after church after church after church after church ablaze with the niggas. You got guns, gasoline, and I keep seeing this damn guy with a gasoline can coming around I'm serious, coming around the corner with this demonic look on his face and is smoking partially in areas of the town anyway, and black folks just scatter running. Don't know which way to go, terrified. And there you are, a new land acquisition, Mr. Metcalf. A new land acquisition, just like that. All it took was a little convincing. But back to what you were saying, you or your ilk, especially in the South, that who are the display that they are at the bottom of every possible social economic indicator since the beginning of the end of slavery. In other words, you enjoy your poverty because you make sure that you're not impoverished, and you have built a whole system of how to profit off of other people's misery. Get it? You do get it. And it's going on to this very day. But Mr. Metcalf here, friends, and on a, since we're being frank, they run the possibility of being lovers too. See, Mr. Metcalf, this, especially when you drink with alcohol with women in the same room drinking alcohol, which to me, anyway, I digress. None of my business. None of my business. How you interact with each other is, frankly, not my business. Well, it is my business. Is when you don't see your own character. You refuse. Now hold on. Lots of men do this. Lots of men, it's not their fault. And this is what you miss too, though. You refuse us. If I may, if I may take liberty, and this is taking liberty, but I don't mean to offend you in the taking of such liberty. I just mean to chat with you. People like Mr. Metcalf refuse to ever take stock of themselves. Ever. It will always be someone else's fault, surrounded by others who are also going to agree is someone who think just like you, cutting you off from the true American experience in the first place. But even that's not my business. Because again, the rest of society and you have agreed that you are the dominant race. Both of you have agreed to this. The people who look up to you have agreed that you are bigger than them. And you have agreed that you are bigger than them. Don't you see what's going on, Mr. Metcalf? Blacken your son down to town and do whatever you want. This is a fact. This is not an attack on one's character, mind you. Not at all. I'm not attacking your character because it doesn't matter. It simply doesn't matter except to you and your social strata and your children, which is a part of your social strata, and the people you interact with on a daily basis. Really on the outside of that, it don't have much value at all. It don't. Along with others like you, that you've given my people absolutely nothing. Zero. Look at your own documents, Mr. Metcalf. What you what you and others like you indulge in hearsay and anecdotal evidence. Hearsay based in racism and anecdotal evidence. How many black students were in your school as a kid, Mr. Metcalf? My bet is at the best 3, and probably 1 that black people had enslaved white people, and that's why white people are so enraged toward black people. But instead, I see just the opposite. But they're enraged as the slave master, and the black people are like, we finally had enough. See? But it took decades and decades and decades and decades to finally create the dynamic within the environment that has produced we've had enough. And Mr. Metcalf here and others of his ilk seem to be blind to the fact. It's not just him. I mean, it's not new once you take out the aspect of race, which you can't. I can't either, because in this post-Obama non-racial society, everybody is racist. Another lie that you and your ilk had helped to create was that racism was over, while you still practice racism on an institutional and a systemic level, running your counties and cities like a personal fiefdom, like you are just you are in control of a region of one big plantation. That, I mean, give you an example. I have a soldier. I got this kick-ass soldier. I know he's a kick-ass soldier. I sent him out. It's going to take him 5 days to complete the mission. I should be seeing him on day 6. Now, on day 7, I know he's dead. I don't have to ask. I know because of his character. If he didn't, because he's not going to come back unless he completes the mission. That's character. Okay? Now, where was I going with all that? If you treat a man like a man, in all likelihood, he will respond like a man. Treat a man like an animal long enough, and sooner or later, he's going to respond like an animal. Raise your child in a disrespectful manner. And again, I'm not here to asperse your child rearing skill, because this is all fucked up. I regret even speaking. I don't even want to say these types of things, but I can't wait anymore. But yet, there it is. And man. Anyway, you do understand something. Slavery was a curse. Slavery was punishment. Both punishment and a curse, Mr. Metcalf. I'm going to get back to the case in just a second. Slavery was a curse, and slavery was a punishment. For us, it was punishment. It was a disciplinary action. Okay? That ain't got nothing to do with you. Justifying all of it. You still see the brutality. You still know it's wrong, but somehow, psychologically, you maintain what's the word I'm looking for here? You maintain the propensity. Damn it, I can't get the words right, Mr. Metcalf. This is deep. You justified it, normalized it, but you still have some semblance of society gymnastics to justify. And it's right about this point that you feel that you lose your ability to feel certain things. You must get rid of them. You must get rid of the very characteristics that make you human. Compassion, empathy, sympathy, things of that nature. And what comes in that void is largely you. Some people call it the devil, but we do know that because God will not maintain any society that would never accept the premise. Did I hit that on the nail? Somebody ought to be paying me money. Somebody ought to be paying me money, man. But that's not, listen, that's not because I'm smart. That's because I've been watching a long time. See, listen, you would think the devil's smart, smarter than the average angel. No, the devil is smart because he's old. Old. He's seen you come, he's seen you go. He's seen you come, he's seen you go, and then he's seen you again. Well, that's because you everywhere. What the fuck wrong with you? It's because I'm moving with you. Shit. You talked about 5 different things. Yeah, and you did 5 different things, motherfucker. Hell's wrong with you? You did one in Texas and one in Idaho and one in California, one in Australia and one in Iran. I only had 59 minutes. None of them worthy of the whole 59 minutes. But this is. This is. Because this is going to get some people killed. See, ever since that, there's been incident after incident, like you're just on a roll. People calm down until a white dude, his entire face was covered in tattoos. And when asked why he did that, he said, to cover who I am. I'm like, come on, man. But that's what, don't you see the connection? It's bad. It's bad. So, conflict of interest. There it is right there. I mean, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. And yet it's there. So this is what you surround yourself with. I mean, we talked about this earlier, and then we are right back here again. The yes men, the understanders. The understanders. When we all know, and this is like beating a dead horse. I don't even, it's so insulting to say these types of things. The following. We all know that if the shoes been switched, it would have been a different outcome. That's just fucking insulting, childish to even say that shit. But yet, there it is. And I don't want to do this yet. The child isn't even in the ground yet. Or is he? Yes, he is. So, did he aim for his heart? You think that a 16 or 17-year-old can make such a surgical strike that's damn near the level of a fucking Navy SEAL with a 4-inch blade? What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? No, he stabbed him somewhere and left the scene. Judge and the prosecutor, the defense lawyer, like you just old chums who've known each other a long time, and you have. You grew up together, went to the same schools. You did. Some of you dated each other, and now you find yourselves in this crazy, man, it ain't supposed to be that way, man. But that small town feel, though. I guess there's no way around it, I would think, but it just sounds a little bit icky. A little bit icky. It can't come with any real degree of, see, that's the hate. That's the hate. To separate him from his family as quick as you can. That's the criminality. Hate and conspiracy, criminality. All of it based on connections and understandings that you already have with each other. With each other as old friends. We know you're old friends because we've seen the photographs. Now, I haven't even got to the different peccadillos that some of them have been engaged in. Anyway, I want to understand, not speculate. I want to cloud my mind with, with empty analysis. No, I want the answer from you. What makes you think that you can do all of this immoral thing and still sit in a position to make judgment calls over people that may be cleaner than you and much more moral, and yet you get to make decisions over their life? I'm just confused. I would think that, you know what? I wouldn't have even tried to become a fucking police. They're already there. But that's not the point either. Because again, I really want to answer. How do you people believe that you can be more in terms of morality and then make judgment calls in any situation in from any capacity on someone else's life when the very position which you occupy call, calls for a certain degree of moral turpitude and ethics, and you don't have them? Why do you think you should be sitting there? That's the question. They can't stop them from doing it. Hell no, they can't stop them. They can only run. They can only run. I don't give a damn how much money they got, how many connections. At the end of the day, they can only run. Okay? Anyway, but in and again, not to asperse the or to disrespect the dead, Mr. Metcalf, your son had disciplinary problems, and I understand why. You know if it was happening out there, it was happening in your house. I don't have to be there to see it. I know this because I'm a father, Mr. Metcalf, as is you. And I've raised a son up to teen. I'm not going to claim I've done the best thing. But fatherhood is one of those things you only get one shot at, too. One motherfucking shot. And in this country, shot goes sideways, influences. I'm not going to justify anything on my own situation, but I'm not going to do it with yours either. How you surround yourself with, man, these people who believe the same way you do, and black people are the glue that that really holds your entire culture together. Without black people, you're fucked. You don't even have a social life. Basically, there's nothing to even really talk about except black people. Okay? When you could actually count the number of black people around Mr. Metcalf as a relative handful. A relative handful. I know this because another situation. Now there's another situation. Okay? Spiritually, some of it is just body hopping, Mr. Metcalf. But I'm not going to get spiritual with you. I'm going to get responsible with you, not spiritual. We have to come to grips with some shit. What should have happened? And now you're going to say, and I can't take you seriously because you are the same type of man who will scream, stand your ground. You will support, and you will support the stand your ground laws that further gives you the right to antagonize, and now kill won't let you go. It won't let you go. It's generational. And trust me, I come from a family that we can tell you a couple of things about a generational curse or two. Know what I'm talking about? And I most definitely can. Spiritually, there's been, well, you don't know. I'm not getting into that. But there's been a spiritual bounty on my head for 5,000 years, and they killed thousands of people trying to stop me from getting here today. Thousands of boys died, Mr. Metcalf. Thousands. Not all at one time, but over a period of time. this king, that king, really do anything. It's going to swallow itself under its own weight. Okay? But, 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 in the midst of all this hate and racism, it's put forward by men like Mr. Metcalf, which he got from his father. And then he got from his father and his father. Have you ever considered that the shit just fucked up, Mr. Metcalf? I can see, listen, what if I told you that my daddy got built-in privilege, surrounded by a culture and an environment that both respects him, redeems him, and values him? That's what you would be giving your son, Mr. Metcalf. That's not lost on me, because that's what you did give him. That's what you did give him. Exactly. Again, it's not a good thing or bad thing. It's what we would all actually aspire to as fathers on it. I could blame you for your parenting skills. I could say that your son was a menace. I have no such evidence of that. 16, 17 years old, hormones are flying. Shit just fucked up when you're a boy like that. Everybody knows it. And depending on personality, then, sometimes shit goes sideways. But my point is, what if I said that it was meant to happen on that very day, at that very time, and by the very beyond the death of your son? Now it's harming your family members. See? Hate breeds what you would think of as hate. Put this another way. Negative brings negative. Negative have never brought a positive. So now the investigators are out and they're digging. And trust me, they're going to find what's there. Just like the person who was there with you managed to, somebody did, thought it off. Yes. Again, I'm black, so I don't know the social implications, the cultural, social implications of white people like that. Because you live in an isolated, insulated environment. You make sure you do. You always have. And because of that, we don't really know you like you think we know you. Not like that. The environment is bad. The environment is bad. Or Colon County. And its people. You know why, Mr. Metcalf? Because it's a curse. And curses don't break themselves. Curses don't break themselves, Mr. Metcalf. They must be broken. The curse will pass itself from generation to generation to generations until they until they stop reproducing or everyone is dead. Like it has fight. And that's where we are. And that's how we got here. So before any more mistakes are made, can we by we I mean you, Mr. Metcalf, and the people around you, kind of understand what I'm trying to tell you here, and then talk about it. It is you, not you personally. And I don't like the word ilk. There's a cultural issue here in the South. Okay? That's not gonna flesh itself conversation with you, Mr. Metcalf. I'm not. I know I'm right. And I know you're wrong. And I think that if you just slow down and you just put some space between you and what you would consider yours, and just think, Mr. Metcalf. Again, these things been happening long before Mr. Anthony or your son met. Fate happened. Fate. The system will play itself out. Just apologizing to. It kind of, as a matter of fact, it's kind of weird. It makes one feel a little empty when one says, "I'm sorry," but the apology is for the one giving it, Mr. Metcalf, not the one receiving it. That's why the one receiving it feels a little funny. But you on the other hand, in a few minutes, you feel better because you don't have to hide it anymore. Don't have to carry that burden anymore. See where I'm going with all of this? The burden you carry will be in your face. But then I thought about it. I thought about it. Let's do it this way and know who you're talking to. You don't have to accept whatever you don't want to accept. Just accept the reality. Accept the reality and then use logic. I'm Source. I'm 7. I'm 1.